Assalamu alaikum. Today, inshallah, we are going to speak about the first lesson in grade 11, secondary school, and in biology. We are going to take the first lesson that is speaking about autotrophic nutrition. But before we speak about the autotrophic and what does it mean, and let's know first what does it mean, the word nutrition. Of course, nutrition, you know that it comes from, once you hear the word nutrition, so the first thing comes to your mind is food, right? Nutrition means food, digestion, and living things, because non-living cannot eat, right? So it's related to living things. Nutrition means anything related to food. Anything related to food. We have 2 points we are going to speak about in nutrition. We have, it is the scientific study of food. This is the first part, the scientific study of food. This is the first part about nutrition. We are going to speak about the food, the kinds of food, what do we need about the food, like protein, carbohydrates, lipids, or we are speaking about minerals and vitamins, how the body get benefit from this food, and what are the kinds of minerals we need, vitamins we need, how they help us in digestion, all of these kind of things. Inshallah, we are going to study them, and we are going to take the various modes, the ways of feeding and living organisms. So the second thing, the modes or the ways of feeding and living organisms. Is it different from one living organism to another? Yes, in fact, it is different, or it differs from one organism to another, because we have 2 kinds of nutrition that we are going to take now. But before we speak about the types of nutrition, let's revise very small part. Let's first take the need of nutrition. Why do we need to eat? Is it even a question? Of course we need to eat so we can live. Why? Why do we need from food? Of course, you know that we cannot talk, we cannot wave with our hands, we cannot do anything without energy. So we need energy so we can live. We can do all the vital processes in our life. So it is the source from which the organism or the living organism obtains energy required for all vital processes. I need energy to respire. I need energy to digest food. I need energy to excrete. I need energy to reproduce. I need energy for every single thing in our life. What else do we need the food for? We need it for growth. We need to grow. It is the raw material we need it to grow is the food. What else? How about if, for example, I have a knife and I'm cutting a piece of apple, and during cutting the piece of apple I have a cut in my skin, in my hand. What will happen to this cut? It will remain like a hole in my skin on my hand? Of course no. Because the cells here is going to reproduce, the cells are going to reproduce filling this part that was cut. So it would be repaired. So I need the food also for repairing the worn out tissues. All the tissues that comes out from accident, cutting, burning, any kind of accident. So we need the food to repair the worn out tissues. So the food contains the raw material needed to repair the worn out tissues. This is the need for nutrition. Before we start in the types of nutrition, let's revise a very simple part we took together last year. We said that any living organism is consisting from body systems, then organs. Each organ consists from tissues. Each tissue consists from cells. Each cell consists from small organs inside the cell, and because they are very small, we are calling them organelles. So each cell consists of cellular organelles, and each organelle is composed of molecules, and each molecule is composed of atoms. So the smallest building unit we have in our body is atoms. Let's have a hint about molecules that we took last year in the first lesson in biology as well. We have the molecules, they are two types. We have the molecules, two types, organic molecules and inorganic molecules. Which one is complex? Organic. So they are complex molecules. They are macromolecules. They are big macromolecules. Inorganic, no, they are simple molecules. Okay? Organic must have what? Carbon and hydrogen atoms. They must have carbon and hydrogen atoms in their structure. How about the inorganic? No, it's not a must. They can have carbon, like in carbon dioxide, but it's not organic, it's inorganic. Or they don't have the carbon atoms, like in water and in salt and ACl. All of these are inorganic simple molecules. Okay, so we have here the organic, like carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acid. If I'm speaking about food and nutrition, so my examples are carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. We are not eating nucleic acids. So we have carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. They are big, containing hydrogen and carbon, basically. Hydrogen and carbon, basically. Such big biological molecules are also known as biological macromolecules. They are inorganic, they are simple, like water and salt, and may contain carbon or not. It's not a must. Okay, this is the part that I wanted to revise from last year. So when we start now about nutrition, we would remember the difference between the word organic and the word inorganic. Organic, the complex macromolecules, but the inorganic, the simple one. Let's start speaking about, first of all, types of nutrition in living organisms. We have two types of nutrition. We have two types. Once I put this thing, so you know already that the plants can walk and buy some fast food from stores. No. Restaurant, they can't go to any restaurant. They don't have legs or foot. They make their own food. That's why they are called autotrophic nutrition or autotrophs. The plants, example of autotrophs. So the first type of nutrition, autotrophic nutrition. Let's see what does it mean, this word, autotrophic. Trophic means food. How about auto means self? So, self-feeding. They can manufacture their own food inside their body cells, okay, through chemical reactions. So, again, the first kind or the first type of nutrition in living organisms, autotrophic nutrition. Self-feeding, okay. We have here the green plants, our example. So they are considered autotrophs because they manufacture their own food by themselves. Here you go, a question for you to think about. All the plants are autotrophs, true or false? Tell me your answers. All plants are autotrophs, true or false, with explanation. Okay, inshallah, next session we will answer it together. They can manufacture the high energy type of food as the macromolecules, carbohydrates like sugar and starch, fat and proteins out of simple, raw and low energy materials like carbon dioxide, water and mineral salts. So they are using the simple, raw, low energy materials, the inorganic compounds, to form high energy types of food like the macromolecules like carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Okay, so we are saying that they are using raw, simple, inorganic molecules. Like what? Like water. So they are using water, H2O. with carbon dioxide that they are taken out from the air. Okay, then they are, and with salt, of course, and minerals from the soil. Under the light energy, they are using the light energy from the sun. They are giving us macromolecules. For example, glucose C6H12O6 plus oxygen gas. So we have here what happens if you remember this thing that we have simple raw compounds, simple materials, okay, inorganic, low energy inside their bonds, that between the atoms. So I have here, can you see how much the molecular weight here, the number of atoms here? So this one has high energy compound, high energy macromolecule. I have it out from low energy macromolecules. This is what the autotrophs do through a chemical reaction, like we can see here, through a chemical reaction. So let's complete this thing again. So during the name of the process we just was explaining, it is the photosynthesis. So they can manufacture high energy types of food as carbohydrates, fats, and proteins out of simple raw and low energy materials like carbon dioxide, water, and mineral salts. These materials are obtained from the surrounding habitats, the water and salts from the soil, carbon dioxide out from the air, and the light from the sun. By using these materials together with the light energy that is absorbed by chlorophyll inside the plant, the green plants can carry out certain chemical reactions we just may do together now, which are collectively called photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is one of the examples of autotrophic nutrition. Auto, self-trophic food, self-feeding nutrition. This is the first sign. So the high energy type, this is the complex organic compound, and have the low energy type, it's simple inorganic compounds. Okay, so the photosynthesis here, it change the low energy type of food, inorganic, simple raw materials into what? Materials into complex compounds, macromolecules, complex compounds, okay, high energy type of food, and it is organic. So this is the result that comes out from the photosynthesis that represents autotrophic nutrition. How about the other kind of nutrition? We have the heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophs, they are here. What does it mean? Let's see. Trophic, we said already, means food. Hetero means different. So we have like different kinds of food nutrition. It's not self. No, they are depending on other things to take their energy or the food. So the heterotrophs, they are living organisms that obtain food from bodies of other organisms. They obtain high energy food substances either from green plants or from animals that were feeding on plants. Okay, so the main source here, I need the plant directly by eating the plant or indirectly by eating the animals that were feeding on plants. Here they are directly taking the high energy food. So here the first step, taking directly the high energy food. Okay, so this is in a form of high energy and complex ready organic food substances like protein, like carbohydrates and lipids. They are taking it directly. Okay, this is the heterotrophs. We have three kinds of heterotrophic nutrition. The first one is called holozoic nutrition. Like what holozoic nutrition? Three things: carnivores, herbivores, omnivores. Carnivores, animals' flesh. They are eating on only animal flesh. Or meat. They are feeding only on meat. Like cats, dogs, eagles, lions, tigers. Herbivores feed on plants like rabbits, cattle, horses, and so on. Omnivores, they are feeding on plants and animals, both of them like us, like humans. Okay? They are the three types of holozoic, and the holozoic is the first kind of nutrition of the heterotrophic nutrition. Second one, parasitic. Of course, all of you know what does it mean, the word parasite. Parasites, they are livings or living organisms that live either as ectoparasite, it means outside the body, that comes from outside the body, like mosquito, or endoparasite, inside the body, that we can find some worms inside our body. Okay, that called the host then. Parasites obtain their food either ready-made or partially prepared from the host that will be harmed, because parasitism, it means parasite get benefit from the host and the host get harmed, become harmed from this parasite. Examples, we have fleas, mosquitoes, bilharzia, tapeworms, other kind of bacteria and fungus, and or punch plants. All these kind of parasitic nutrition or examples of parasites. This is the fleas, bleach, or we have here mosquitoes. They are outside, they are ectoparasite. They are examples of parasites that are getting their food out from humans or other living organisms. And finally, the third type of heterotrophic nutrition is saprophytic. Saprophytic, the word saprophytism, it comes from dead bodies. So saprophytes are living organisms obtain food in liquid form from decayed remains of dead organisms. Examples of four saprophytes, many kinds of fungi, and saprophytic bacteria. Okay, decayed remains of dead organisms. This is the third one. Here we go, a critical thinking question. All living things obtain their food from the sun in a direct way. Is it true or false? Or how for this statement is correct? Of course, this statement is incorrect, because not all the organisms take their food directly from the sun. Some of them take it indirectly, like heterotrophic organisms, and then you are going to explain a little bit about heterotrophs. Okay, let's have some questions together. So we practice about the part we already finished. There we go. Here the question is, which of the following tables correctly summarizes autotrophs and heterotrophs? Here, like we used to do last year, we are reading the choices and make it like true or false, so we'll not be confused. Let's read the first one. Autotrophs, they obtain food by consuming other organisms. Auto. From other, I will not complete reading. It's false. Autotrophs can synthesize their own food in cells of their bodies. Yes. Like plants. Yes. Heterotrophs obtain food by consuming other organisms. Yes. Like animals. Yes. So my answer will be B. Okay, give me a second. Here we go. Next question. Which classification of heterotrophic organisms do humans, cats, and rabbits belong to? Humans, cats, and rabbits. Holozoic, because they are omnivores. So they are holozoic. Which of the following is a process used by some autotrophs to synthesize their own food using light energy? Photosynthesis. They are using or making their food using the sun. Which of the following best describes organisms that use heterotrophic nutrition? Heterotrophic, okay? They are able to synthesize their own food. Heterotroph? No. They obtain food from feeding on other organisms. Yes. They consume different form of food every day. They don't require food by survival for water, so I have, and I'm sure about it. Which of the following best describes the organisms that use autotrophic nutrition? They are able to synthesize their own food from simple inorganic materials. Correct. So it would be my answer. What are the two major types of nutrition? Heterotroph and, autotroph. Okay. Which of the following is not a benefit that good nutrition provides? It provides energy required, yes, for sure. It provides the materials needed for growth and repair, yes, sure. So the one that is not, it can cure an organism's genetic disorder, no. Here, which is not an example of a group of a heterotrophic parasite, yeah. Holozoic, yeah. Saprophyte, yeah. So prototrophs, so they are not heterotrophic. Here they're giving me the picture of the flea, and they're asking what is the classification of heterotrophic organism is it? We already know that it is a parasite. And finally, fungi, like this kind of mushroom. They are asking about its classification. We already know the mushroom eats the decayed organisms or dead organisms, so they are. I hope you understand the lesson and enjoyed with me. Thank you so much and see you next time. Goodbye.